Let me start by wishing you all a happy new year, or as you say in Hebrew, Intifada Tova.
Cut!
Hey, to all my Jewish New Yorkers, tonight we celebrate Rosh Hashanah with a festive family dinner and dance joyfully to the beloved song, Jihada, Nagil Jihada.
Cut! I'm pretty sure it's Hava Nagila.
Giving time. Good morning, dear ones. It's morning for me anyways. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Today is October 30th. Since I am still going to be recording creepy content throughout the next couple of months, I was thinking we can go through clips I have been saving over the past year. Because I'm the type of ADD that has to clip everything, save it into, I used to be the type of girl who would just, save crafts and Pinterest boards and stuff. Now you can find me clipping the government. Clipping the libtards and the government and our political leaders. And all the I think most I have is lefties losing it, especially because that's kind of what got me into conservatism. And Rita Panahi is a saint, okay, in my eyes. I love her. Not literally, okay, I know I say that all the time for Charlie. I mean it for Charlie. Rita Panahi is just a gorgeous woman who knows what she's doing and does her job well. And she's hilarious, and she makes fun of lefties all the time. So let's go watch some of my old clips that I have from her. I'm not even sure what they are. I just know I need to empty my hard drive because it is overwhelmed with footage I've never used. So let me go see what clips I have, and we can dive in. Actually, before we do that, let's start with this crazy woman who calls herself a Democrat. So we are going to see one new clip right now, and that is Brad Polumbo. He is writing about Jennifer Welch. I don't know if you know who Jennifer Welch is. As far as I know, I think she was a Bravo person. Other than that, I know she's a Hassan sympathizer. She's the one who put her fingers in the collar and said, "I think you're choking your dog."
Now, apparently people found a clip of Hassan having his collar way too tight on Kaya, and his, simp friend points it out, and he just awkwardly brushes it off.
And now it's mainstream. I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's, here, we can...
You have to be able to get two fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's it's because she has a lot of neck meat.
Within seconds, you see Hassan take the collar, shock collar off of the dog, but leave the collar on. And yeah, she still has his back, and she's still on Hassan's side. So is she a good person? I doubt it. And I actually am positive she's not a good person, because this is what she felt the need to say. I believe it was 2 days ago. Okay, here we go. You might hear my baby boy in there. He's up hanging out right now.
Establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA.
Now, guys.
Yeah, but the right's violent. She's literally saying she's going to be violent towards the left as well now. The Democrats are too democratic. She wants socialism, so she's angry. That's crazy.
We're going to talk about the worst podcaster on the planet at this point, or perhaps the most toxic and acerbic personality. Her name is Jennifer Welch, and she started out as one of the hosts of a show called the I've Had It podcast, hosted by her and Angie, aka Pumps. And this podcast, when it started out, it wasn't very political, and I actually listened to it for a little bit, but then it got more and more shrieking wine mom MSNBC rant, and I totally checked out. Top-rated podcast. They've had freaking every famous guest under the sun, including Kamala Harris, I believe, and other Democratic superstars, but now Jennifer Welch has branded out and just become a political commentator. She's on MSNBC, CNN. She is just increasingly a darling of the establishment Democratic Party.
Now, as we watch this, keep in mind these are the supporters of the quote-unquote socialism, people like Newsom and Mamdani, and in this video, I am going to focus on Mamdani. Let me take a moment to formally introduce you to Zoran Mamdani, the ex-Marxist socialist who, yes, claims he is an ex-Marxist, but I would say his policies say otherwise. He is a New York State Assembly member running with full-on socialist backing. He's pushed for closing Rikers and cutting police budgets even while New York City loses around 315 officers every single month. He refuses to condemn globalized Antifa movements. He constantly talks about decolonizing New York, which sounds noble until you realize it means no consequences for repeat offenders. And yes, he's the same guy who doubled down on Fox News for bail reform when he was confronted after a man was arrested 33 times, went on to murder someone. And some very recent allegations coming up against Mamdani are accepting illegal foreign donations, nearly 13,000 from 170 donors abroad, and dozens of those funds still not refunded. And this is documented. Another occurrence was Mamdani posting to his social media standing next to Siraj Wahhaj at the Mosque Masjid at Taqwa in Brooklyn. Imam has been identified in media reports as someone who prosecutors named as an unindicted co-conspirator in the 1993 WTC bombing. And lastly, some outlets have claimed that he may have fudged or misrepresented some information on his immigration forms, a form N400. And I think this is about his Marxist beliefs, but I could be wrong on that one. Now, I'm sure some of you will say I'm highlighting the worst, but honestly, his best isn't much better. Some of the policies he's pushing aren't just controversial, they're straight up impossible. Take his promise of free childcare or government-owned grocery stores. Sounds great on a campaign flyer, right? But in reality, free always comes with a price tag, and that price falls on the taxpayers. These aren't just idealistic ideas. They would require massive new spending, higher taxes, and a level of government control that New Yorkers should seriously question before handing over their vote. And Welch, she's a prime example of the white liberal women being used to push a narrative on communities they don't actually live in or understand.
But she is pushing them to become more radical and more hateful and even more divisive. Not to, embrace people, fellow citizens, reach out, dialogue, anything. She's like, no, spit on their graves and laugh at them with us. Is the direction she's demanding the Democratic Party go in. It is actually heinous stuff. Let's take a look at this clip of her that is going viral right now, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Now, my thoughts before we jump into this is anyone who hangs out with Hassan Piker must be a psychotic, because he is into doing stuff with animals. I mean, he admitted that, right? Am I wrong? I am alligating it. Okay, it is alleged because he said it. Hassan said it. You guys saw the video I made. And if you didn't, you should go watch it because it's only like 2 minutes. Hassan was like, the best person to do it with is the human. Humans are the best. Like, what? What are you talking about? What? How do you know that? And why do you know that? That's... Okay. So she's cool with people who hurt animals. She's cool with people who hurt people. And she's very angry. That's what we know so far about this woman.
Finally, if you think the Zoran thing is happening just in New York, and you think people are waking up only in New York City, you're mistaken. Look at this clip of a wine mom at the No Kings March. Play the clip.
Before we get into the clip, we've already watched this clip because you know I love Liberty Hangout, okay? Jenna Talia. I remembered her name, Jenna Talia. That's her liberal name. But of course her real name is Caitlin Bennett. Caitlin mother-flippin' Bennett.
Was
Charlie Kirk, ma'am?
Yeah, him's horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, ma'am?
Because he was
Okay, watch that lady. You see where my arrow is? Even watch how she reacts.
horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well, I'm
would
so
you be
sorry.
glad if I would die?
Maybe. Well, I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she.
Oh, they cut it out. So that woman that I had my arrow on, she actually says, oh, you don't believe that. Don't say that. Like, she tells her friend, come on, don't be like that. You know, you don't really believe that. But look what this woman says.
Be happy if I died.
So she's laughing at this clip. And it's funny because before she even commented it, I had also seen this clip and I considered covering it and just didn't get to it. But the only, whether you are left or right, whether you love Trump or hate him, the only sane takeaway from watching these elderly women spew bile at Caitlyn Bennett, who, yeah, she's crazy, but nobody should want her dead, or talk about how they're glad.
Also, I don't think she's crazy. Like, I'm crazy. Caitlyn Bennett's very sane and sound of mind. I mean, gun owning? Is that what you mean by crazy? She owns guns, Brad? Brad? Get a gun, Brad. It's not that crazy.
Charlie Kirk is dead is to feel disgust at that, wishing death on your fellow citizens, your fellow Americans, just because they disagreed with you politically or you thought their message was harmful. That takes hate. That takes darkness inside of you. And here, Jennifer Welch, the new star of the Democratic Party and their liberal media apparatus, thinks it's so funny and that these women are amazing and that this is the direction that Democratic politics is going in and should go in. Then y'all are sick. Jennifer, you are a hollow, hateful husk of a human being who has just lost the ability to see your fellow citizens with the nuance and complexity that they are, which is not all bad or all good on the basis of their political beliefs. And it's just terrible stuff. But she goes on to suggest that the leaders of the Democratic Party need to embrace this kind of animosity. Now,
Yeah. So she pretty much is saying if the Democrats don't start doing whatever they demand, they will be the next target of the violence from, I'm going to just say Antifa, because who else is she talking to? Communists? They're the same in my book. Communists and Antifa are pretty much the same, right?
also interweaves it with commentary on AIPAC in a slightly confusing way, but I guess I would suggest just set that aside as I show you the rest of the clip.
Yeah, set it aside.
And listen to her circle back and again suggest that what we just watched in this clip is the attitude Democrats should embrace. Really sick stuff. Listen to this.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit, or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period. Stop taking AIPAC money. Go on an I'm sorry I took AIPAC money atonement tour if you want to stay in power. Stop missing out on these big rallies. Hakeem and Chuck should have been front and center introducing the next mayor of New York City. No, they wouldn't show up because they're pussies.
Love you.
They're pussies that are beholden to the same corporations that helped Donald Trump get elected. And this is just an embarrassment.
I'm confused. Okay. I literally think she's saying, like, they're the next ones to target. Like, she's telling her audience, these are the two men who are doing the wrong thing, and we will make sure it's them that knows they're doing the wrong thing by targeting them. Maybe not with violence, but they're definitely going to start talking shit online. They're going to get so much hate online. Probably a bunch of phone calls to their offices. And I don't mean violent threats. Right now, it's just going to be like, you need to do what we say, right? Socialism. But still, that's like psychotic, no? Que no?
They're pussies that are beholden to the same corporations that helped Donald Trump get elected. And this is just an embarrassment. Kudos to Bernie. to AOC, to Zoran. And that woman out in somewhere middle America saying,
AOC, Bernie, and Zoran, who all have made a shit ton of money from the same corporations she's talking about. Now, I'm sure a lot of you want to challenge me on this, considering AOC and Bernie like to say they don't accept money. But if you look into AOC, she's been hauling in $10 million in just the last quarter. And Bernie accepting money from registered lobbyists, but despite his anti-big corporation posture. If you're claiming to fight the system, why is the system still funding you? Mamdani isn't just taking big checks, he's taking them from beyond New York. More outsiders, more cash, same socialist label. Maybe not AIPAC specifically, but look into their funding. It's right there for the public to see. This woman. Okay. Let's finish this video and we will go find, no, we won't do that. Let's finish this video.
fuck Charlie Kirk. He was a racist. He was a piece of shit. There are so many more of us than there are of them. And these Democrats that continue to play patty cake with corporations and lobbyists, nobody wants that. Nobody wants you. We want politicians to speak freely and look at what the benefit is. Look.
Dude, she's crazy. She's crazy. And she thinks there's more of them than us. Even though we won the electoral vote and the popular vote. Make it make sense, please. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
What is happening in New York? And you dipshits are sitting on the sidelines, running your social media like complete dorks. It's embarrassing. Get your shit together. Hakeem and Chuck, seriously get your shit together, because the Democratic Party is moving on. We are moving on.
So again, there's a lot to unpack here about this woman, but and what she says here. I think we should separate, or try to separate, the commentary about AIPAC and corporate money. You can.
Yeah, she's like all over the place, right? She's all over the place. It's like emotional pot, stirring an emotional pot of psychotic. But whatever. I don't know. If you subscribe to that woman, you probably should unsubscribe. She's crazy. She's a Hassan sympathizer, and she loves socialism.
Of course, believe Democrats should stop taking AIPAC money or corporate money. We can have a whole conversation about that. That's a separate issue here. What is sick, what is genuinely twisted, is Jennifer Welch suggesting that the Democratic Party should become more glib and callous and hateful and embrace the ideas of, which, to their credit, a lot of them, in terms of the elected officials, denounced. They said it's horrible Charlie Kirk was killed. Now, of course, a lot of the base celebrated and shoot.
I mean, a lot of them did not say anything. A lot of them were like, this is why we hate guns. This is why we need to reform guns. Even though the campus that Charlie was shot on was a no-gun school. Imagine if somebody had been allowed to carry a weapon and protect people. Maybe it could have helped. Maybe. Maybe if just crazy people didn't have guns, you know? Maybe if a good citizen had a gun. Maybe.
The internet, but I gave them credit at the time that most elected Democrats had a dignified and civil response to that terrible attack on American democracy. Jennifer thinks they should all be like these crazy wine.
I disagree a little bit with Brad here, because I think too many that were too many of their biggest faces, like Nancy, AOC, I can't think of it. I think Crockett too. They didn't really say what happened was wrong. They were like, yeah, like no one should be shot, but he was for guns. Like they all said that, and that's just gross. That's pretty disgusting.
Bombs, apparently. Now we should all just hate each other. Ma'am, that way lies civil war. I think it is so sick, and I have to say, the fact that places like CNN keep bringing her on, MSNBC, all these liberal media outlets are glowingly giving this woman a platform. I mean, here is the level of political discourse. she engages in. I want to play you another clip. Take a listen to this.
And the Republicans and little Moses Mike Grinder Johnson will commit any crime, suck any dick, eat any ass to make sure he delivers on everything that this dementia-ridden, kanks, skanky-ass bitch wants.
Dude, she is riddled with anger and evil. What is up with these white women? They are so fucking mad all the time. I know I look white, guys, but I am only a little bit Caucasian. I'm just a little bit Caucasian, okay? These women are fucking nuts, okay? They have too much time. White, liberal women, too much time on their hands, okay? I can't believe her. People who talk like this in their free time really, really just have so much hate in their hearts. Could you imagine if I came on here spewing shit like that? Like, that ass-eating asshole? I don't even know. I don't even get it.
They will do it for him because they are morally rotten.
I'm sorry, but I'm just so unimpressed by her. She just offers nothing of substance.
Yeah, just anger.
She doesn't know anything about politics. Her claim to fame is being like a C-list Bravo Real Housewife or something.
Exactly.
And she just says vulgar stuff, swears a lot, and calls people names, and apparently peddles like...
So she's Jasmine Crockett of the YouTube world.
Outright fake news and misinformation with the whole Grindr Mike Johnson thing. That's a fake hoax about him. And yet again, CNN, MSNBC, left of center tastemakers all across the media and the internet are uplifting her. I just think it's horrible. And I think it's a sign of the crassness and degradation of our political discourse that people like this, like woke wine mom Nick Fuentes, she really is the mirror image of the shocked, which that's a foreshadowing. We're going to talk about him next. But she really is just the shock jock, hateful, vile, vulgar, attacking people, tearing people down, dehumanizing people.
And it's always about hate and like literally breaking somebody down. It has nothing to do with their argument. It has nothing to do with what they believe in and like true things that you can actually communicate about and have like a discourse about. Instead, she has to be like, oh, you just suck dick. Oh, you just deserve to die. Oh my God, like what? Oh my God, these people are crazy. And this is why I will probably not vote for a Democrat for maybe 25 years. Maybe in my 50s things will go awry and I'll have to vote blue. But I doubt it. All right, let's see. We could watch some Nick Fuentes, but I'd rather not. He's a psycho. I did hear some crazy shit about him on Twitter, though. Like, he got caught watching some gay porn, even though he hates gays. He supposedly may have done stuff with Destiny, which I don't believe that one. I think that's probably just some crazy rumor that people are saying to be shady. But there is proof of the other one. There is proof. So I thought we were done, you know, but I just figured I'd share this since we're talking about Mamdani a little bit and like his key supporters, right? And pushers. They're not telling us everything, right? And they're just telling us, oh, we want socialism. Socialism is not communism. They are not the same. But let's just get the full... I realize my microphone is behind me. Let's just get the full lowdown on Mamdani because that's what's needed in order to vote the right way, right? And I know that this is just coming out the week of the election, of course, as usual. That seems to be how it plays out. We find out the most important stuff, the latest, because they try to hide it, in my opinion. Let's go see what Nux found in a documentary, I believe he says, about Mamdani. This is insane, you guys. This is insanity.
Now, I made a reply to this tweet. I ratioed them 10 times over. It has 400 likes versus my 5,000 likes. So I responded with 99.4% of women in Egypt say they were sexually assaulted. The age of consent in Iraq is 9. 8-year-olds in Yemen die on their wedding nights from blood loss. Nigeria killed 125,000 Christians. Syrians are killing Druze and Christian minorities. Some cultures are inferior. That's right. Saying that some cultures are inferior is not far right unless you Mehdi Hassan, a radical Islamist communist, unless you yourself actually support those cultures and support murdering Christian minorities or Druze minorities or...
Now you might be asking why this is important, but it's been hidden for too long that Mamdani is indeed a radical Islamist and works for the most radical Islamist.
Women getting married at 9 years old, or 99.4% of women in Egypt getting sexually assaulted. Unless you support all of those things, which you might. I'm not saying you don't. I mean, you are radical. You're a fucking retard, radical leftist Islamist. Maybe you do support all those things, actually. But in my worldview, that makes them an inferior culture. So this was the response. That number was so insane, I couldn't believe it, but Nux is correct in his stats. And she pulled up an article, 99.3% of Egyptian women girls have been sexually harassed. And if you look at a little more info, so yes, I actually am right. Of course I'm right. Obviously I'm right. I'm usually right. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I am actually, in fact, usually correct. Now, there's something else that I said, speaking of inferior cultures, that I thought was worth mentioning.
Okay, yeah, here's the part about Mamdani. So I guess we don't have to acknowledge the last part, but it is very important stats. And especially when people are saying, like, you're just racist to Muslims, and we're trying to explain Muslim is not a race, it's actually a religion that is a cult, okay? A cult disguised as a religion, brainwashing people to harm children and women and continue the cycle of abuse, okay? And take over the world. That's literally what they want. It's called Antifada. And when they say globalize Antifada, they're talking about the end of Christians and Jews.
Absolutely worth mentioning. So she ended up retweeting my tweet. Retweeting my tweet about all these stats, saying, should we have preserved cannibalism because some tribes practice it, or was it an inferior culture? A simple yes or no, but those unable to critically think won't want to answer and will most likely just call me a name or tell me to off myself. Correct. If you mention that there are inferior cultures, they will want to kill you. Now,
and that is why I say keep emotion out of it, because yeah, it is kind of like rude to say like, oh, well, we're superior. It's just like rude, right? But right now we're talking about facts, and it is superior to not eat other humans. It is superior to not sexually abuse animals. It is superior to not marry 6 and 9-year-olds. And that is the difference.
let me make this clear. There are inferior cultures. That's right. There absolutely are. Now, I actually could disprove this in a second. I could disprove this myth. Do you think America was better now or was better with slavery? Well, if you think that America is better now as a culture than it was when it had slavery, then you agree that American culture was inferior when it had slavery. Which means inherently that cultures can be superior and inferior. If you disagree, then that means you're pro-slavery. So I'm really glad that we're on the same page. There are inferior cultures. This is a gigantic lying fraud bitch maneuver. And I responded with something that a lot of people don't know about. Fun fact, Zoran Mamdani, the guy running for mayor in New York right now, another radical leftist Islamist, admitted to watching women being raped in Egypt and not intervening on grounds of cultural relativism. And this is from an actual article. However, Mamdani declines to intervene to stop rapes and sexual assaults, not because of the concerns about his own personal safety or legalities. No, of course not. But rather because he concluded that the last thing Egyptians needed was a well-meaning foreigner's assistance. I am...
Wait, so he thinks... Okay. So he's saying it's wrong for foreigners to get involved in other people's affairs? Is that what he's saying right now? That's what he says. Okay, so can you shut up about Palestine then? Can you do me a favor and shut up about Palestine then? That'd be great. That would help a lot.
I am a foreigner. I'm not going to stop women from getting raped, okay? All right. That's their culture. So yeah, so these are the people that say there aren't inferior cultures. The pro-rape people think that there are no inferior cultures. I knew it was evil, but holy shit. All these dumb fuck censorship women's groups claiming to care about women, none of them speaking out against him or Egypt. I knew it wasn't safe. I had no idea it was like this. This is insane. All right, so I wanted to make this clear. That's an inferior culture. And electing someone that mentions that this is an inferior culture is not a bad thing. It's in fact a good thing. And the reason why I am mentioning all of this is because I am called a Nazi for mentioning this, even though it is literally the most logical stance ever. So no, Mehdi Hassan, radical leftist Islamist, no, it is not a dog whistle that you're a Nazi if you mention the fact that rape is bad.
Yeah, if anything, it's more like a play whistle, like they're mad that they're being called out because he's calling their moves every time. I think that they're just trying to block him from getting to more people. It's not working though. And as you can see, you should subscribe to Nux. Okay, go subscribe to Nux. It's Nux. Yeah, go subscribe to Nux and don't vote for Zoran Mamdani. Unless you want things to be a little more like Dearborn, Michigan. And probably worse. Probably it'll be a combination of Dearborn, Michigan with LA. Like tie those two together and that's what you're gonna have. Pray for you. I pray for you, New York. I hope the Lord blesses the space and protects his sheeple. Even the lost, even the ones who don't know Jesus, even the ones who don't know God. Protect them. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Just to further prove that America was turning communist. And it wasn't just America, you guys. This was the global movement of the New World Order. If you are unaware of that, I don't know if you would be unaware of that. But COVID was the spark of what they wanted to play out. Okay, COVID was supposed to get us into the stage of fear, anxiety, to allow them to do whatever they wanted and control us. They did for a while, but most people were like, what the fuck? They were just silenced, right? They were silenced online. We weren't stupid. We just were silenced. And so after that, they moved in all these people across the border, right? They did it here. They did it in the UK. They did it in Japan. They did it in Greece. They did it in Ireland. They did it in Sweden. The only place that it didn't affect was Poland because they stayed strong against immigration and they had a badass prime minister through it all. And he had seen communism from wherever he came from. I don't remember now where he's from. But he refused to allow them to immigrate because he had witnessed that happen from wherever he was from. I want to say Germany. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But wherever he was from, he witnessed communism happen and it played out just like this. So he followed his heart and did what God, what I would refer to as God, help him make these decisions rather than humans. And now we're at this point where we're trying to reverse everything they attempted to cause, right? We were able to get pretty far along in America. Everywhere else is really struggling. Now Japan has taken their power back, right? Instead of this communism that was trying to take control. Communism is the first step to the New World Order. First they enter, they take over, they take all your money, and then that's it. You're done. You're screwed. And I'm not going to go further into what was going to play out in the New World Order because it didn't happen. Anything I say would end up a conspiracy, right? So we save that for the conspiracy page. But right now, I want you guys to hear what Japan's Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, has made mass deportation one of her first policies, appointing Kimi Onoda for the job. So we're going to hear Kimi Onoda, her speech towards the illegal immigrants. And I think it's very well put. And I think if the media in America portrayed things better, then a lot of Americans would understand what's really happening. But the media is constantly twisting what's happening to make our president and his cabinet seem evil when he's just not. He's actually just doing everything he can to keep us safe and to make sure that our money stays our money. And yeah, let's go hear what she says because this is very, very well put. And I think if NBC, CNN, ABC all played this, maybe we'd have a few people wake up. But they don't want that, so that's not happening. Let's listen.
And that's what's happening. First day on the job, baby. Immediate mass deportation time. That's what you got. It's what you do, baby. It's what you do. They're here and they're getting cooked. They're getting absolutely smoked. Kimi Onoda, Minister of Immigration and Foreign Affairs, due to crimes, nuisance behavior, and misuse of public systems by some foreign nationals, many citizens are feeling anxiety and a sense of unfairness. Wow, that sounds pretty familiar. While we must not fall into xenophobia, ensuring the safety and peace of the mind of the Japanese people is essential for economic growth. Wow, taking care of your own citizens first. That's great. We will take strict action against those who do not follow the rules and will take comprehensively review systems and policies that are not adequately responding to the evolving situation at our borders. This will be done in close cooperation with relevant agencies, a united effort across the government. And I bet you they will not stand for the bullshit that America's dealing with like, the Democrats fighting against ICE agents. You know that? Like, we're trying to deport 30 million people that Biden imported illegally.
And it's because the people are being lied to and they're on the streets fighting officers and ICE agents and Homeland Security, and they think they're doing justice. They think they're accomplishing something. They're doing the devil's work. They're on the street working for the devil and they don't even know it. And it's just so ugly to watch. It's ugly. And anyone who is a Democrat, I don't even know who's left anymore. It's like there's the socialists and then there's some Democrats left. But a lot of them are turning independent now because they don't want to be associated with the socialists. And then some are turning independent because they don't want to be associated with the Democrats. It's kind of crazy. It's just nuts to watch play out. I wish that they would be more honest and allow their constituents, the people who will listen to them, hear the actual truth. But waiting for that is like waiting for hell to rise. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, hell rising will happen first, in my humble opinion.
And you have people fighting with ICE agents on the streets. You have governors and senators inciting violence. Bro, that's not going to happen in Japan, and it shouldn't happen here. We got to learn that from Japan, and we got to throw those guys in the jail. That's right. That's right. You incite violence? You try to protect criminals? Fuck you. Jail. I don't care if you're a governor, senator, podcaster. Goodbye. We will deport every retard. Retards are going to go. None of them. We will use every weapon at our disposal to deport the retard. The retards are going to be gone. That's right. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
So yeah, in my opinion, I agree with Nuxanor. I think these people who are instilling the constituents and the civilians to go out and fight their own government should definitely be charged, at the very least, kicked out of their seat for government, because why are they trying to go against the government? If you're a part of the government, you should work for the people, the ones who voted Trump in, right? That's kind of how it works, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to work? Yeah, okay, well, that's all the Commie Mamdani clips I have for you guys today. But if you didn't see the last one I made, I'll make sure to add it right over here, so you guys can go watch it right now, because this guy's nuts. He's crazy. I'll see you next time.